Struggling to level up fast in Elden Ring NightReign? Let me take you through this amazing run I had. In just one game, I racked up 780,000 runes, and my teammates earned even more. This wasn't some glitch or exploit, just raw chaos, smart decisions, and a tiny bit of luck. I'll walk you through exactly how it all happened, from our strategy to key decisions that turned a regular match into the most profitable one I have ever played. Since the game is time-based outside the end of the day bosses, the strategy revolves around the concept of min-maxing. Minimize the downtime for maximizing ruins and points of interests hit. The game started with us spawning at church, which means we were able to hit a point of interest from the get-go. If you didn't spawn on a church, then you can try and use the strategy we used to reach the second church. First goal was to hit level 2. After taking down the rats at the church, we targeted some peasants walking down the road and hit the grace to level up once we had 3600 runes. Then we went after the closest location of interest, this fort, and took down every little enemy we found so we can guarantee another level after we beat this knight. Since I have Iron Eye and his passive boosts item discovery, I opened this chest hoping for a stone sword key, so we can hit this Everjail on our way to the second church, thus not wasting any steps. The random decided to go after the camp however, but since it wasn't very far, me and my friend decided to follow and quickly defeat the boss so we can move on with our plan, hoping that this would win the guy's trust and he'll follow my lead. Lo and behold, he decided to tag along on the journey to the Everjail, and while the fight here was less than ideal for me, we prevail and head for the church. This water lake always has a boss, and seeing that it's Hippo, which we would be able to take down on day 1 at our level, I decided to quickly get church and then take him down, even though the circle had already started. Remember, we are min-maxing here, and as long as we are not in the rain, it's perfectly fine to stay and fight. With our joined forces, Hippo was a cakewalk, and our strategy has put us at level 6 already, which will massively help us to take care of the next big task, the center castle. Continuing killing anything in the path that would give money and is a quick target, we headed towards our destination. Seeing the basement was not Elmer, which if it is, maybe leave him be. The doggo was our next task. I get completely owned right off the bat, but luckily playing in Unity saves me and Wolf is tamed nicely. While exiting, I realized that this castle has Crucible Knights and immediately made it my priority to clear them all before doing anything else. Picking the talisman, we started our onslaught, and while you might think we should have rushed this church and maybe the ruins, the time spent on it would have been less efficient, as these knights drop a ton of money and are right here. So we clear as many as we could, and while the circle was closing, I went out and started hunting any mini enemies I could. And my team joined me, which helped us take down another Crucible Knight before the final boss of the day, ensuring we have enough cash in hand for level 11 already. End of the day boss was Wormface and overall didn't pose much challenge. And after taking him down, we were ready to begin the rush of day 2. I wanted to rush the church, but when the random marked the ruins, I decided to prioritize that first, as I was planning to do it on return trip anyways. I just felt that if I offer support to him in his tasks, he will be more willing to follow my lead later, and that's exactly what happened. He followed us to the church and then to the hawk I marked to head straight to the rot area. This meant I was calling to ignore the final church, as I felt that it was not worth it. If you don't have an area like rot and you see some synergy along the path to church and then some possible follow-up locations you can hit, you can pivot towards that. But for us, it would have offered less for more time to go there, so I decided to skip it and the team listened. This is where the luck part plays a role a little bit, as we got the locust while I was heading straight to the fort. I marked the location of the blessing of rot and as my teammate joined, we took on the knight as he was also right there. I immediately run towards the blessing so that while my teammates go get it, I can take care of this butterfly, which gives us as much cash as a great enemy despite being pretty easy, and a buff that on occasion can drop 10,000 runes when you hit your enemy. If we didn't get the locust, then the time spent on it would have instead allowed us to probably take on another boss, which is what you can do if you don't get this event. But with that being out of the way now, it was time to go back and start boss hunting. We targeted the tree spirit and the deathrite bird, and for me the rune buff activated twice during both fights for additional 40,000 runes, and by the time the final circle started to close in, we already hit max level. But I had thirst for more. I scout the next bosses, and seeing that it's DTS and the next one is Ancestor Spirit, I chose to avoid them, as one had potential of punishing any mistakes super hard, and other loves to waste time. The boss closest to the tree was Loretta, and feeling much more confident about her, we take her on for a battle, and come out victorious, activating the extra runes buff twice again through the fight. I continue hunting the little enemies around the edge of the final circle while I still had time, and while I was doing that, first wave had already arrived, and my teammates were easily able to take care of it on their own, reaching the main boss on day 2 with 100k in hand, along with hitting the max level. The buff activated 4 more times during this battle for me, and before the final boss, I sat at a massive 187,000 to spend on anything I needed or just merely wanted. Final boss fight being Augur was slow but steady, and we slowly chipped away at it till the victory was ours. While we had some luck on our side, if you properly communicate and let someone take the lead, you can also get a run like this. If you get the locust, great. Otherwise, you'll still end up getting 680,000 runes, which is also plenty. As you can see, I had over 100k while fighting the final boss, meaning if I had defeated a boss instead of the butterfly and didn't get the buff, I would still be standing in same position. While churches are important, it's okay to delay them a bit and sometimes miss one if it doesn't synergize with your pathing. The reward for not having that one extra flask sometimes might come more in clutch. I was easily able to get Wormstones and Healing Physique in place of that flask, and you can also check merchants for Wending Graces, which you will be able to buy with that huge cash in your hand. Sometimes listening to 1 or 2 requests from your teammates can go a long way in having your team actually work as a team and result in a smoother run. If he had run off to the final church on his own and left us, we would have been slower in killing some of the bosses and leave potential runes and levels on the table. It does require quick decision making, and sometimes you might end up going the wrong way. But don't give up and try to take a moment, check the map, and form a new route. Or let someone else take the lead. Who knows, maybe they are experts at carving the right path. Finally, I do want to say that the reason I wanted to push bosses was because I believed in my team to take them down. If you see from earlier fights that it may not work for you and your team, pivot to smaller camps instead. Understand the weakness of those around you. It's better to clear easier enemies than waste time on a single great enemy inefficiently. I hope all these tips and my experience help you form a better pathing for your runs, be it solo or with teammates, and help you be at your best when taking on the final boss. Also, an unfortunate announcement that I am bringing down my uploads from being weekly to bi-weekly, as some ideas and the quality I want from my videos require a bit more time. Hopefully I can improve my workflow in future and change it back to weekly, but we'll see. I might throw in some surprises here and there though. Hope you understand. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.